Okay, today I'm going to discuss the answers to the questions that I gave you in the previous video. So, the first question, suppose country A imports goods X at a price of 150 each under free trade. How many units of good X does the country produce, consumes and import? Okay, if you look at this question doesn't require you to find the market equilibrium price and the market equilibrium quantity. However, in this video, I'm trying to teach you how to find the market equilibrium and the market equilibrium price and market equilibrium quantity based on this table. Okay, based on these tables, we can find the market equilibrium price and the market equilibrium quantity. Okay. Okay, from the table, from the information given in the table, so you have to sketch the demand and supply curves into one graph, and this is actually your graph. Okay, this is your supply curve. Okay, this is actually your supply curve, and this is actually your demand curve. Okay, so what you have to do is actually you have to find this price equilibrium price, and then you have to find this equilibrium quantity. Even though the question doesn't require you to find it, I'm going to teach you how to get these equilibriums, okay, from the information given in the table, so you can get this equilibrium. But before that, you have to find the equation, the function, the demand function and the supply function also. Okay, so the first thing you have to find is actually you have to find the demand function. Okay, so there are several points in the table, but I choose only 2 points. You can choose any 2 points. Okay, from the combinations you can choose only 2 combinations. Okay, so in this case I choose point A and I choose point B. Okay, so point A, it means that if the price is equal to 100, quantity demanded is equal to 900 and quantity supplied is equal to 0. Okay, so when the price is equal to 200, quantity demanded is equal to 700 and then quantity supplied is equal to 200. Why do I say that you can use any 2 points? Because the demand curve is a linear function, and the supply curve is actually a linear function also. So it means that you can use any 2 points. Okay, so what we want to find is actually we want to find our demand functions. Okay, so the formula that you have to use is actually QD is equal to A minus BP. Okay, so this is actually the formula to get the demand function. Okay, the first step you have to find is actually the first thing you have to find is actually you have to find B. Okay, so what is the formula to get B? So this is actually the formula to get B. B is equal to QD1 minus QD0 divided by P1 minus P0. Okay, so QD1 is equal to 700 and then QD0 is equal to 900. Okay, P1 is equal to 200 and then P0 is equal to 100. Okay, so you will get B is equal to -2. Okay, so you will get B is -2. And then what you have to do is actually you have to substitute -2 into this equation. Okay, -2 you have to substitute into this equation. Okay, then you will get QD is equal to A. Then you will get QD is equal to A minus 2P. Okay, so QD actually you can get QD, so you can choose point A, either point A or point B. If you choose point A, it means that if quantity demanded is equal to 900, it means that your price is equal to 100. In this case, I choose point A, so it means that quantity demanded is equal to 900, and then my price is equal to 100. Okay, then you will get 1100 for your A. Okay, once you have got already your A, then you have to substitute. Because why? Because you have got already B, and then you have also got already A. So to get the demand function, so you just substitute B and A into this formula. Okay, then you will get this QD is equal to 1100 minus 2P. Okay, so once you have got already your demand function, what you have to do is actually you have to find your supply function. Okay, you have to do the same thing as what you with what you have found already, what you have done already for the demand function. Now we are going to look at the we are going to find the supply function. So the supply function, the formula to get the supply function is actually QS is equal to M plus NP. Okay, so the first step you have to find before the first step you have to get is actually you have to get N first. Okay, so the formula to get N is actually QS1 minus QS0 divided by P1 minus P0. How do you get QS1? QS1 is from here. Okay, so point B, QS1 is equal to 200 minus QS0, QS0 is equal to 0. Then divided by P1, P1 is equal to 200, and then P0 is equal to 100. Okay, so this is actually what you have got. Okay, so this is actually N is equal to 2. Okay, so you have got already 2 for N. It means that you have to substitute N 2 into this equation or this formula. So QS is equal to M plus 2P. So what this is actually what you have got after you substitute N into this this formula. Okay, then you will get then you have to find M. Okay, then you have to find M. So QS is you have got the informations already, the figure for QS. QS you can choose any points also. You have 2 points here. If you choose point A, it means that you have to use QS is equal to 0, and then the price is equal to 100. Just substitute. Okay, price substitute into this equation, this formula, then you will get M is equal to negative 200. Okay, so once you have got already N, and then you also have got already M, then you just substitute these in these answers into this formula. So you will get QS is equal to negative 200 plus 2. So now we are going to find the market equilibrium price and the market equilibrium quantity. So this is our demand function and this is our supply function. To get the market equilibrium price, so you have to take QD and equal to QS. So the formula is actually QD is equal to QS. Then you are going to get price is equal to 325, and then quantity demanded. If you want to find quantity, then you have got already the market equilibrium price, which is equal to 325. Then you just substitute into any function. Okay, if you choose the demand function, so 1100 minus 2 times 325, then you will get your quantity, which is equal to 450. So if you look at this curve, the market equilibrium price and the market equilibrium quantity, so this is actually our market equilibrium price, which is equal to 325. So, and then this is our market equilibrium quantity, which is equal to 450. So let's get back to question A. Suppose country A imports goods at price of Rm 150 each under free trade. How many units of goods does the country produce, consumes, and import? Okay, so if you look at these questions, the world price is actually equal to 150. So this is actually 150. Okay, this is actually our supply and our new supply curve after we import goods from another country. And then, so what you have to find is actually you have to find this quantity demanded and this quantity supplied. How many units of good X does the country produce, and then how many units of good X does the country consumes. Okay, so this is actually our domestic supply. So at these points you can find how many units of goods X that the country produce, because this is actually the domestic supply. Okay, and then to determine how many units of good X that the country consume is actually you have to refer to this, because this is actually our domestic demand. Okay, so how to get this value, and then how to get this value, get back to the get back to the equation, the function quantity demanded. Okay, this is actually demand function and this is actually supply function. From this function you can get how many units of good X that the country produce. You have to use supply function, and then if you want to determine how many units of good X does the country consume, so you have to use this demand function. Okay, so what you have to do next is actually you just need to substitute 150 into this function. Okay, first we are going to find the number of goods X that the country consumes. So we have to use the demand function. So just use 150 into this price. So you are going to get 1100 minus 2 times 150. Then you will get quantity demanded is equal to 800. So 800 is here. Okay, so this is actually your how many units of good X that the country consumes. Okay, to get how many units of good X the country produce, so what you have to do is actually you have to use this supply function. Okay, just use 150 and then substitute into this function, then you will get 100. So 100 is over here. Okay, this is actually 100. This is actually the number of units of good X that the country produce. Okay, then the next is actually you have to find how many units of good X that the country imports. So the quantity demanded minus quantity supplied, then you will get the number of imports. This is our quantity demanded, and then minus this quantity supplied, then you will get the number of imports. 800 minus 100, you will get 700. Okay, next we'll try to answer question B. Assume that country A imposes a quota that limits imports to 300 units of good X. Determine the quota-induced price increase and the resulting decrease in consumer surplus. So to determine what is the price after the government imposes the import quota, so what you have to do is actually you have to use this function. Okay, demand function and supply function. Okay, so then how to get the number? We have got already the number of imports. Number of imports is actually 300. It means that the formula that you have to use is actually QD minus QS, then is equal to 300. Okay, so 1100 minus 2P minus in bracket negative 200 plus 2P close your bracket and equal to 300. Okay, so then you will get 1100 minus 2P plus 200 minus 2P then equal to 300. Then you will get your price is equal to 250. Okay, so when the price we have got already, the price is equal to 250, it means that the price will increase from 150 to 150 after the government imposes an import quota. Okay, so your S plus W, it will shift to S plus Q. Okay, this is actually your new supply curve after the government imposes the import quota. Okay, so now we are going to determine this is actually how much the price is, and then we are going to determine how much the quantity demanded and how much the quantity supplied. So this is actually the formula that you have to use, and this is the way how to get it. Okay, the price is equal to 250. So it means that this is actually the price, which is equal to 250. Okay, so then what you have to find is actually you have to find this is how much this one is quantity demanded is equal, and then how much the quantity supplied is equal. Okay, so what you have to do is actually you have got already the price, then you have just substitute the price into this function. Okay, so if you want to find the quantity demanded, it means that you have to substitute 250 into this demand function, then you will get 600. So this is actually quantity demanded is equal to 600. And then quantity supplied, the same thing you have to do, just use this price and then substitute in your supply function, then you will get 300. So this is actually our quantity supplied. Okay, so how much is the how many imports? 600 minus 300, then you will get the number of imports. Okay, so this is the government has limited already 300 to limited the number of imports to 300. So it will cause the price to increase from 150 to 250. Okay, so it increases by 100. Then we want to find the resulting decrease in consumer surplus. As we know that the consumer surplus before import quota, this is actually the area of consumer surplus before the government imposes the import quota. So now when the government imposes an import quota, it means that this is actually the area. Okay, it means that it will increase, it will decrease to this area only. So from this area it will decrease to this area only. And how much it will decrease? It will decrease by this area. Okay, so we want to calculate this area. So the formula, this is actually the trapezium shape. So the formula is actually, okay, so this is actually what we have to find. Okay, so the formula is 1 over 2 times 600 plus 800 times 100, then you will get 70,000. Okay, so the area, the size of this area is equal to 70,000. So this is actually the resulting decrease in consumer surplus. Now we move to question C. Calculate the quota's redistributive effect, consumption effect, protective effect, and revenue effect. So first we want to find redistributive effects. So which area shows our redistributive effect? This is actually the area of our redistributive effect, the trapezium shape. Okay, so how to calculate the redistributive effect? The formula is actually, this is actually how to get a revenue effect. 1 over 2 times 100, this is 100 plus 300 times 250 minus 150. So it's equal to 20,000. And then you have to find consumption effect. Where is the area of consumption effect? So this is actually the area of our consumption effect. Okay, so to calculate the consumption effect, 1 over 2 times 800 minus 600 times 250 minus 150. This is actually our consumption effects area. So the answer is 10,000. Okay, then you want to find protective effects, so you have to determine which area shows your protective effect. So this is actually the area of protective effects. Okay, so to calculate the protective effect, 1 over 2 times 300 minus 100, so times when 250 minus 150, then you will get 10,000 also. Okay, then the last one is actually you have to find the revenue effect. So which area shows the revenue effect? So this is actually the area of our revenue effect. Okay, so how to get the revenue effects: 250 minus 150 times 600 minus 300 is equal to 300. So this is the number of imports. So you will get 30,000. 30,000 is actually our. Okay, we go to the next question. Suppose that there are many importers and one exporter. Who will earn the revenue effect, and at which price the importers will buy the units of good X? In this case, if you look at the question, there are many importers. It means that there are many importers in country A, and then there's only one exporter from another country that exports good X to country A. So it means that the revenue effect will be earned by the exporting country, because the exporting country which sells good X to country A. Okay, so when there is only one seller and there are many buyers, of course they are going, the sellers is going to be monopoly. Okay, and the monopoly, they are going to sell at high price. So they are going to sell at 250 ringgit. Okay, so the importers will buy at RM 250 ringgit. Okay, at this price. Okay, the world price is actually 150, but the exporter will sell for RM 250. So the revenue effects will go to the exporting country, and the importers will buy at RM 250. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can